What's going on out there, Spotlight fans? That's your main man, Tommy, on the spot. Today is Tuesday, August the 2nd. Thank you so much for downloading today's edition of the Wrestling Drive, the Baker's Dozen edition of the Wrestling Drive. That's 13, right? Anyway, hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to be chatting about last night's Monday Night Raw, and at the end we'll chat about a departure from WWE that I think should get a lot of play today. You'll hear about it all over the place. But before we do any of that, let's get right into Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a very newsworthy edition of Monday Night Raw, as we really do start on the road to SummerSlam and really start to kick things into high gear, as we mentioned it would be yesterday. With Brock Lesnar's return last night, I thought that was the biggest highlight on the show. The best segment on the show was Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman's return to the company to close out the show, and then obviously the run-in by Randy Orton out of nowhere, coming in with the RKO out of nowhere. Thought was really interesting, and I thought they did a really good job with that. I thought they did really well in that, Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley running out with the police officers, with the security guards, doing everything that they could to get Randy out of there, since he didn't belong there because he was technically a SmackDown guy on the Raw show. It was kind of cool and kind of interesting to see them react so strongly against this with the brand split and like, hey, what is he doing? But at the end of the day, remember, they have to promote an inter-promotional match here between Orton and Lesnar, so it makes sense for Orton to show up. I expect that Lesnar will probably show up at some point on SmackDown as well to get revenge, or who knows, maybe they could create some sort of agreed-upon contract signing where all the general managers can get together and agree on a place that Orton and Lesnar can kind of work together, and the two of them can have this contract signing. Maybe even at an impartial, neutral site, maybe on the WWE Network or something like that. Well, how about a contract signing on the WWE Network? I think that would be really interesting, and to kind of see them do that moving forward. So, who knows? I'm just all speculating, but I thought last night was really good. Orton has been so fresh since then, and so clean. That's right. Since his return to the company, those 9 months off, obviously it was unfortunate, it was due to injury, but it's really freshened him up. He's gotten some of the biggest reactions out of anybody, even against a guy like Lesnar, who's loved and adored by the crowd. The crowd was so into Orton and the RKO. They were so surprised to see him show up on Raw yesterday. Did not expect it at all. So already the brand extension is really kind of taking shape and paying dividends, if you will. So who knows on that, but I thought that was really, really good. Also, from last night, we did find out that Roman Reigns probably, if last night was any indication, will in fact be taking on Rusev at SummerSlam. I assume this will be for the United States Championship, which is pretty interesting when you consider the fact that Reigns has already declared, as we said yesterday, he's already declared that he's going to be going after that title. Either if it's Seth Rollins or Finn Balor who wins the title, he'll be the first guy to kind of come after them. Well, if he's the U.S. champion, that's not exactly the case. That won't be the case, but I don't know. I kind of really like what Rusev has done with his U.S. title. He does a really good job in it. He's obviously hated by being against the United States while holding the title, so it's kind of a cool thing. I hope they don't just kind of end that right away. And but it's gonna be interesting to kind of see Roman Reigns work kind of from the middle of the card a bit against a guy like Rusev, and maybe he'll elevate Rusev up the card. And so we were kind of right. I know we had said maybe Jericho would have been a better choice, but I think that Rusev has had good matches with big time stars like John Cena in the past. So I expect Rusev and Roman Reigns to be a fun little match at SummerSlam. That's not the only SummerSlam match that we found out, or that it looks like we're going to be heading towards, as it looks like they're going to be going with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens against Cass and Enzo. Kind of a cool little deal yesterday where Kevin Owens showed up, said he had Chris Jericho's back, and that should be a little fun little storyline there. I personally would have probably preferred Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho to have more higher profile type of singles matches, but sometimes, these tag team matches work. I know that last year's SummerSlam, you even had Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in a tag match, so no shame in that, and it will certainly elevate Enzo and Cass and let them kind of work with a couple of veterans there. Should be a lot of fun at SummerSlam. The other thing that we continue to build towards, and it certainly looks like we're getting towards, will be the New Day defending the tag team titles against the Club. I'm into this. I think this is a lot of fun. Now we're at that point where the New Day has held the tag titles for so long. It's kind of like when CM Punk had the title for such a long time, where it's like, wow, I wonder how far they're going to let them go. I hope they go in another couple of, another 100 days. Hope they go another year. Hope they break this record. Hope they break that record. So it's going to be cool to see, and obviously the club, there's only 2 of them, and there's 3 of the New Day. So immediately you have to kind of start to think, maybe they'll bring in a 3rd member, maybe they won't, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. Aside from that, I thought Raw actually had some really good matches on it as well. I really liked the mixed tag match with Sasha Banks and Enzo Amore against Chris Jericho and Charlotte. And I thought that Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins tore it up last night, as you know they would. They were great, and they're both great athletes, so to have them go in the ring, great chemistry together. And it was cool to see such a unique match given away right on Raw there. So that was a nice treat as well. The other bit of news coming out of Raw last night is that Jinder Mahal is back on the show. Don't hinder Jinder. Back on Raw and having a cool little deal there where he shows up to kind of support Heath Slater and then slowly kind of makes the match to determine who gets the spot on the brand. And boom, Jinder knocks out Heath Slater. Heath still doesn't have a brand. And Jinder Mahal, of all people, is back on Raw. So kind of interesting to see and pretty unexpected. A bit of a somber note, a little sad, that Lillian Garcia has announced that she'll be stepping away from WWE, as unfortunately, I believe her father is not doing the best health-wise, so she's going to take some time off and take care of him. We wish her nothing but the best. Obviously a major loss here for WWE. She's been around on and off since 1999, I want to say. I mean, definitely since the Attitude Era. We all remember the promo there where she tells The Rock that she wants a piece of his strudel more than anything in the world. So Lillian was a major piece of that Attitude Era. It's going to really kind of, hopefully she'll be able to take care of what she needs to take care of. Hopefully her father will end up making a full recovery and she'll be back before we know it. But, you know, whether it be, you know, the ring announcing, the great renditions of America the Beautiful, the national anthem, getting the crowd hyped before a show, Lillian was a real, kind of like an under-the-radar type of integral piece for WWE for many, many years. So she'll definitely be missed, and again, nothing but thoughts and prayers to her and her family and a speedy recovery for her father there. So sorry to end on such a down note, but we will be back tomorrow to take a look at SmackDown Live, and who knows, maybe something will drop middle of the day and we'll jump on there and chat about it as well. So thank you so much for downloading today's edition of the Wrestling Drive. Also be sure to check out thedailyspotlight.com, as we will definitely be kind of boosting up the amount of content on that website as we move closer to SummerSlam. Wrestling content, travel content, all sorts of things. Let me know what you thought about Raw last night. Hit me up on the Twitter at TommyOnTheSpot or at daily_spotlight, or just write in the comment section below. It's Tuesday. Let's get through this grind, people. Take it easy. And of course, wait for it, you be well.